So explain to me.
Listen, I don't understand why some things freak me out and some don't. Like fighting freaks me out. I always feel like, right, one punch, you could be done.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
and that's
for
what
sure.
scares me about it. Like, especially when I see people get knocked out cold.
Of course.
That freaks me out.
Of course. Yeah. I mean,
And-
it freaks anyone out. Definitely. It's chaos. I mean, unfortunately, that's what people love. It's modern day gladiatorial sport, you know?
That's
blood
the part
sport.
about it
That's
I
the
hate.
so you would never have survived back in the day.
I wouldn't have.
That's literally how people
No.
got into
The Roman Empire.
Yeah. No, I admit it right now. I wouldn't. But I don't know. People, you're right. I have a friend who was obsessed with boxing.
Right.
Her and her boyfriend travel all over the country to go to these boxing matches. They bet on them all the time.
Of course.
And they try to explain to
We'll
me
be
all
on
the
DraftKings
strategy.
and FanDuel, too, for anybody that wants to hit a parlay.
There it is.
Put the house on the hitman.
There you
She's
go.
always betting. But like, no, they try to explain to me all the strategy involved. And I don't know. It freaks me out.
Of course. Yeah. My mom is the same way.
I
Yeah.
bet.
She's blocking her face, and then when I'm getting my punches off,
Yes.
hit him, Harry! Hit him! Hit him! Punch!
long-
You'll hear her in the crowd, punch, punch, punch.
How long does it take from you to heal from a match?
I haven't really taken any serious damage.
Oh my God.
I mean, I'm sure there is some brain damage involved in anything. They even say in sparring. That's why they say don't leave your fight in the gym. You know what I mean? Get your sparring, get your rounds in, but don't overtrain. Like,
Wow.
you obviously want to save it for fight night. But the worst thing that ever happened to me is I got hit in my mouth. Thank God I have a good mouth part, like an impact mouth guard. My orthodontist sponsor, Dr. Felito, saved my teeth. He made me a good mouth guard for impact.
Oh,
And it was
shoot.
like, yeah. But I got caught with an overhand my last fight. And I think it was more of the pain, the nerve like the nerve shock that sent me down. It wasn't really me getting rocked. Like, I wasn't out of it. It was just,
Yeah.
like that stung. So I took the knee. I was like, I got to go down. It was just so quick. And then when I was like spitting blood out, but I realized I was spitting a chunk of my gum out too. I was like, oh, geez, yeah. So I can feel that stinging pain. And I thought my teeth were gone. So when I got back to my corner to the round
my
ends, I get back to my
gosh.
corner. The first thing I say is, "Are my teeth gone?" Like, my corner's trying to tell me, like, 1, 2, 1, like, step out with the jab. And I'm like, "Are my teeth there?" That's what I care
my
about.
God.
They're like, "They're there. They're there." I'm like, I don't feel it. They're so numb.
You say all that.
Yeah.
Why do you love it?
I mean, first and foremost, it's just like what I was born to do. Essentially, I feel like it's what I've known, it's what I've been seen to do, and get in the ring makes me feel alive, the most alive I've ever felt. So when I step in there, the bell rings. It's like I'm almost in my mojo. You know what I mean? And it's where I feel the most alive. So I always love the eruption of the crowd and my family being there and representing my sponsors and the build up to it. And it's just everything that goes into it. It's my passion. So I hate getting injured and I hate getting hurt, but that's, I don't want to say inevitable, but it's possible. So I just go in there with the best mindset. I train really hard. So I always know, what I can expect, that I'm going to give my best effort and hope for the best and prepare for the worst
Do you train every day?
Every day. Sometimes,
how
some
often,
days,
how much
some
hours?
days I can do 4 to 5 sometimes. I'll do double sessions, but I'll sit down and I'll hydrate and stuff, and I'll stretch again, and I'll get loose, and I'll work on different things, different mechanics and stuff. Whether it's a circuit interval day or it's going to be just mitt work and slip and move and working on the bag a little bit, touching. You know what I mean? Some days are just touch. Some days are more rip and shoot. So it's just. It comes down to what I need to work on that day. You know what I mean? Some days I feel like I need to work on certain things, certain combinations, and it's also about who the opponent is. I try to match my sparring with who I'm gonna fight. So if I know this guy kind of has a similar style, awkward, more unorthodox, all right, I'm gonna take this guy into my camp. You know what I mean? Because it's gonna match that style, and on fight night I'll be able to make those adjustments.
For someone like me who knows nothing about boxing, what would you explain is the most important strategy that goes into any match? Like if you were to start training somebody from scratch who's never boxed before in their life, what would be some of the fundamental
basics? I mean, the footwork, the angles, working the 1-2. Everyone wants to throw, 3, punch combos, 1, 2, 3s, and it's like you don't even know how to throw a hook yet. You got to work on throwing that 1 before you can throw that 2. You know what I mean? And you got to know how to step in. I'll lead off the front foot, step back, work off that uppercut when someone tries to come in on you. You know what I mean? So it's just about angles, repetition, learning something over and over again until you master it. You can't just jump to one thing if you didn't learn the first thing, you know. So it's just taking the basics in, learning the fundamentals, getting your angles, your footing, and then you can start working on this and that and mixing it up. Like I always say, like every fighter has their own little swag. You know what I mean? In order to master that, though, you need to work on things first, the basics, and get those fundamentals, because then you can start kind of administrating that into your style and make kind of formulating it all together. Yeah.
Interesting.
And you got to think about it too, because you're thinking of just like like a street fight, two guys going out there and just throwing.
This is technical.
Yeah, this is technical.
Right.
So
That's what. Yeah.
So I would say, in a way, it's safer than boxing. Yeah. Why? Because if you're facing off against a boxer, right, you could be like, oh, I could take jabs all day from this guy because they have a glove. You know what I'm saying? And so now you're getting head damage, head damage, head damage, head damage, head damage,
like
head
a
damage.
speed bag.
Because you're going in there and just like, I'm going to take the jab, take the jab, take the jab. I just got to avoid a couple of certain power punches, but I'm good. In this style, there might be guys who have that mentality, but for the most part,
surface damage.
Yeah, for the most part, you're like, you're going to be like, I'm going to play defensive. I'm going to play a technical timing type of style. I would assume, right? Or
no. So they've actually been doing a lot of science. They're testing it. Like, obviously, it's a brand new sport, but like they've been doing studies on people that obviously do bare knuckle, that came from a boxing background, the concussion protocols and stuff like that. And so that's great. I mean, like you go 12 rounds in boxing, it's 3-minute rounds. It's that constant.
Yeah.
You're taking punishment and you can't see it, so it's eternal. Your brain's constantly, and even if it's a touch, as soon as your brain gets a little whiplash, your brain's bouncing off the back of your head. So you're getting a lot of that internal damage where, and you see it. It's the outside surface damage in bare knuckle. So it's easier for the ref to call the fight if there's cuts and stuff like that, because it's more visible.
Oh my God.
Being again at the press conference, I noticed that there were a lot of people from the region who are participating, who are fighting, or it felt like that.
Oh yeah.
Is New England, is this region like a hotbed for talent for bare knuckle fighting, or was it just because it's at Fenway and so they did the right thing and had a lot of homegrown talent being able to fight at Fenway?
I mean, it's still brand new from New England. Like, I mean, they've been doing it. I think they had like 4 fights at Mohegan, and they were like mixing a lot of guys. Like, what's his name was in it? I gotta think of his name. I'll come back to that. But yeah, they had a lot of different boxers and MMA fighters and stuff like that. Like my buddy Jake Pilla, he's in Combat FC. He's fighting on this, but he's like, I think I might do a one and done. You know what I mean? For him, this is just like, let's just market the New England bare knuckle scene. But for me, this is like my career. Like I've been doing this for 3 years now, going on 4. And it's like, it's building up right now. So I think you're going to see some guys want to stay, and some guys are like, one and done. That was cool. Great experience. But yeah, like you got Joe Lozon, who was in the UFC. He's an elite, legend to the sport, especially for Boston.
He's going to fight for the...
He's not fighting for the world title or anything, but he's
going to fight at the
event. I think he's the fight right before the co-main event. Yeah.
No shit.
He's on the main card. Yeah. And we got
Joe.
Charles Rosa. Rosa was in the UFC, another Boston guy. So we got a lot of people that coming from the UFC that are like, I have the MMA background, I have the boxing technical background, but I'm going to try this out. You know what I mean? And some people are signing multi-deals, and some people are just one and done, and that's fair. You know what I mean? No one knows what to expect, especially if you've never been in there.
Right.
So, like, I fought in a triangle before this, the Trigon. When I fought in that circle, I thought it was going to be easier because I'm a boxer, so I'm like, I got more space. Those are tight corners. I was fighting in a small area where you take 2 steps back and you're on the ropes. Dude, it was like foreign to me. When I got in there, I was like, I got to learn the footing here. And I think that was another thing is I was like, it was almost too big for me to be able to adapt. Now that I've seen it and stuff like that, and I kind of know the angles that I can take and stuff. And another thing I also noticed is a lot of boxers will sit on the rope to use the rope as leverage because there's a little stretch to it. It's like an octagon. So you sit on it, it's like a wall.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's not, there's no bounce. You can't bounce off it. So you can't like use it as like a counter. You know what I mean? Like I usually sometimes sit off the rope to come counter something to get out, find my angle. You sit on that thing, you're getting hit and you're not bouncing off it. You're just taking the hit. So it's like, there's a lot of things that I had to kind of understand first and see. And now I think I have a little bit more of an idea of what's to come. You know what I mean? And I got a tough guy in front of me, but I mean, it isn't really anybody I haven't seen before. I got the pedigree and the boxing background. So it's just making the adjustments and not getting too ahead of myself and stuff like that, thinking and focusing on the task at hand. Like everyone goes in there to get a knockout because the nerves and stuff like that. I always go in there to dissect and set plots and bait and set traps and stuff and leave something there that you can't see so I can time something later on. You know what I mean? And I'll use feints and stuff and level changes just to see how you react. And I can kind of see how your body's opening up and how you're rolling and stuff. So I know where to go. I know it's going to be open at some point. So it's just, it comes down right
so
now.
much that goes into
Yeah.
it that
What you thought it was
people
just
don't
like, I just see
realize.
red, bro. I just see red.
Right, you close your eyes and
Yeah.
just start swinging.
It's crazy because when the sport first came around, it was just people with their chins up going nuts that came from the streets. Now you're seeing these guys coming from MMA and boxing.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more of a technical background to
Right.
it. So it's
Like I listen again. I know nothing about boxing, but I picture you can't just go into a ring and start just punching people. Like
course.
there's got to be there's a strategy involved, and I don't know what that
and
is.
every opponent has a different style. That's why they say
Yeah.
styles make fights. So Mike Tyson, everybody has a game plan until they get hit. A lot of people go away from that game plan.
Yeah.
We're already working on, plan A, plan B, plan C. So maybe it might not turn out how I want it exactly, but at least I have an idea of what I need to work on. And when I get in there, I'll have that muscle memory to kind of time it.
It's exciting because like as the years go on, it's gonna get. You're just gonna see more and more people
Evolve.
get into the sport.
Evolution.
Yeah, because little kids are gonna start training at an earlier age, whereas. In the beginning, I always make the joke that fighters either came from a fighting family or came from a shitty background. And they're like, I don't want to go back. They're fighting their way out of
Yeah,
their,
yeah,
their
streets.
past.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you're going to have kids now who's like, mom and dad, bring them to, fight training at like 6. They do it safer at that level, but they're going to be like, oh, I grew up with this. It's just like when UFC started, it was style versus style. Now you got kids who are like, I grew up fighting MMA. Since I was 5.
Right.
So it's just a whole different animal now. August 29th, Fenway Park. Use code Gigliotti
Yes, sir.
to get your discount
code.
for BKFC.
Follow me on Instagram, the Hitman Gigliotti.
There it is.
Love it. Good luck.
Thank
you
Good
so
luck.
much.
Kick
Thank
some
you.
ass.